So the other day I was on Reddit and someone posed a question. What will happen considering there won't be liquidity provided by Earth 2? There won't be a liquidity pool. And that's an interesting question because here we are at the start of a bull run and everyone's talking about coins going parabolic and making millions and this coin will mint millionaires and whatnot. And everyone's waiting for the launch of Essence in Earth 2. Everyone's speculating on price. Indeed, everyone's asking, what do you think the price of Essence will launch at? Now, I, being a crypto noob, much like a lot of other people, decided to kind of see if we can figure out this question. So I looked at decentralized exchange, considering that it's going to be launched on Uniswap. And I wanted to know how Uniswap decides the price. So as you do in this modern age of 2024, you look and you ask AI. Now here I am with Gemini, Google's AI. How do decentralized exchanges calculate the price of a token? Unlike centralized exchanges that rely on order books to match buyers and sellers, decentralized exchanges use a different method to determine token prices. This method is called automated market makers, AMM. And this is how it works. Liquidity pool. At the heart of AMMs are liquidity pools. These are smart contracts holding the reserves of two different tokens. In this case, there's a reserve of Essence and a reserve of, let's say, some kind of wrapped ether or USDT or some other currency that you use to swap between the pairs, right? Anyone can contribute crypto assets to the liquidity pool, becoming a liquidity provider and earning fees for their contribution. So there is an incentive for you to become a liquidity provider. And that's where I suspect a lot of liquidity will be provided on the launch of Essence. It's interesting because Earth 2 is like, we're not going to provide liquidity. So we're not going to be the ones that will buy a bunch of wrapped ether. We're not the ones that will offer a USDT pool. It's going to be you guys. It's going to be the players. Or it's going to be some kind of whale that feels like they can make a profitable play by providing liquidity. That's fine. Now we need to understand then how or what will determine the price of Essence. AMMs rely on a mathematical formula, typically the constant product formula, to determine the price of a token within a liquidity pool. This formula essentially states that the product of the two reserve amounts in a pool remain constant. All right, it has to be an equilibrium. They have to balance it. In simpler terms, if you add more of one token to the pool, Essence, the price of that token goes down relative to the other token in the pool. And we can assume that at the start, there's going to be a bunch of people wanting to sell their Essence. Right? People just want to get out of this game. People want to get out of the market. They've been sitting on Essence for 2-3 years. And they're just over it. They're just like, have no faith in the game, have no faith in the team, have no faith in the product. I want to get out. I'm going to sell all my Essence tokens. So that being the case, what is going to happen? There is too much supply of Essence for the actual demand. Not enough people are buying Essence. A lot of people are supplying the Essence. They're selling it back to the pool. So therefore, the formula trying to balance this equation out, it will make the price of Essence crash. So the question therefore is, how many people do you think has faith in Essence? How many people do you think have faith in the token, utility token? And how many people do you think want to immediately dump Essence? Because that will dictate what the price of launch is. Now, a lot of people will well into Essence because they'll believe in the token. And if it launches at 0.00 whatever, there's undoubtedly going to be a huge population of people out there, or a decent population, a whale perhaps, that will buy a ton of it, right? That will drive the price up comparatively to whatever the other pair is. But at the same time that the price is driving upwards, there's going to be a bunch of people that will dump on the market. You'll be used as exit liquidity. And you just need to prepare yourself for that. If you want to get out, get out. But if you think that this is a play, then sure, start buying all the essence there is. At the time of launch, they estimated that 300 million essence would have been mined. But it's interesting because everyone's essence that's currently on the platform, on their platform Earth-2 wallet, they have to first transfer that onto MetaMask first. Right? And in order to do that, there's just this whole process. You have to actually bring it on chain. And I believe in order to bring it on chain, there has to be some kind of liquidity pool, some kind of pool. I'm not smart enough to kind of figure all that out. Knowing the basic principles of liquidity pools and decentralized exchanges, it's interesting. Perhaps you can also speculate and see what the price at launch will be. Now, here's the other interesting thing that we find in the white paper. This little perler right here, token outflow. To begin, all Essence tokens that appear on the player profile when logged into the Earth-2 account will be stored in a default wallet for the ecosystem, and it remains off-chain. Right? I mentioned that if you want it to sell, you have to move it on-chain, but everything that you currently have, Essence-wise, will be what is stored on the platform off-chain. When tokens are in the wallet, players will be able to use them inside Earth-2 for a multitude of reasons without having to transfer and incur gas fees. However, when you want to take out your Essence, you want to cash out, players will be able to lodge a request to transfer the Essence tokens to the wallet they have successfully linked to the Earth-2 account using two-factor authentication. This request will be batched and reviewed by our accounting team to ensure the player withdrawing the tokens has acquired them legitimately and to perform other security spot checks in the best interest of the Earth-2 players and the platform. So this is interesting for multiple reasons. The first being the Essence that you currently own, they're not yours. You may think they're yours, they're on your account, but they're not yours. Why? Because you can't cash them out. They're off-chain. They're held within the platform. So Earth-2 needs to hit their magical button in order to allow you to then move them onto your MetaMask. There's a review process. It's batched. Similar to how it was or how it is now when you want to cash out your e-dollars. So that is interesting because everyone's here is just like, I'm going to cash out as soon as it hits this, dollar value. Well, guess what, guys? You can't. It's not that easy because everything has to be reviewed. There's an element of risk management from Earth-2 side because they will avoid pump and dumps. And furthermore, they can potentially manipulate the market. Because let's say someone has, 500,000 Essence. Let's just say, whatever. They've been playing the game diligently and they have 500,000 tokens. And they're just like, I'm out. I'm cashing out. They put a request to Earth-2 to say, hey, I want to cash out right now. Batch process this 500k Essence because I want to liquidate it. Well, Earth-2, in order to avoid crashing the token, they may turn around and be like, not a good idea. Don't want you doing that. Not going to batch process 500,000 Essence. Let's do smaller batches. But the question is there, does Earth-2 or should Earth-2 have that power? Because we know Earth-2 does have that power, right? They're the ones, their accounting team are the ones in control of your Essence on the platform, and they're the ones that determine whether you can move it on chain or not. So on one hand, yes, it's great because they get some form of control when it comes to risk of dumping the token. But then the other side is, this whole idea of crypto being decentralized and you are in control of your own keys, your own coins, your own tokens. You're not really in control of any of your Essence. So again, food for thought. That's just something I wanted to put out there. Thought-provoking, something for you to think about. And that's it.